Hi, I'm Alicia, your prop money millionaire, cash stuffing, budgeting teacher, single mom of 3. It's time to get into these hands and bands. Welcome back to Hands and Bands. This is Alicia, your prop money millionaire, and we are well into our first week of I Know JULYIN. Welcome. It is going to be an amazing weekend. It's going to be an amazing month. It's my birthday month. I know JULYIN. If you thought I wasn't going to come correct with just everything this month. So today's something a little different. We went on a family trip just a few weeks ago, and we did a whole little weekend getaway. Just me and the kids, and we went to Arizona. If you haven't heard of it, I'll try and insert some pictures. It is amazing. It's like this, what is it? Like a refuge, like a sanctuary, a rescue place for not just bears, but they have bison and they have wolves and other reptiles, and we saw a big giant turkey. They have some grizzlies, excuse me. So it's very interesting. So first of all, it's about almost 3 hours from Phoenix up north. It's about an hour south of the Grand Canyon. Okay. So we did end up spending the night. So we drove up really early one morning and we stayed for the entire day. And I didn't tell the kids knew we were going to Arizona, but they didn't know we were going to go do the VIP version, because the whole thing behind Arizona is you drive through this area, right? And imagine like an amusement park. You drive up, you pay to enter, and then it separates off into two branches. If you go right, you go through the little drive-through thing, and each section is separated based on like deer grates and like the bars on the ground so that it can't walk over, and different barriers they've created. The rock walls that you see around, which we learned on the VIP tour, is actually a bunch of like literal junk piled up, like cars and wreckage and stuff. And then they put like the mesh wiring over it, and then they spray it with some stuff, and then the artists come in like sculpt it to look like a rock. It's amazing, right? Anyway, if you go left, you can go around to the visitor center, and when you can do like a walking tour, and you can see like the reptiles. There's some otter. They have an otter show they do. You can see the grizzlies, and they're obviously not in the walking tour or the driving. They're like separated. And these are all animals that have been, for whatever reason, unable to survive or stay in the wild, and they're brought to them. Like, for instance, if you see a fawn and it's out by itself, you're like, I'm going to save this fawn, and this is the story that the tour guide told us. A lot of people will just see them there and then bring them home and try to take care of them. Well, now you can't reintroduce that one into the wild, and usually the mother has the fawn stay there until it returns. And so you separated this mother and fawn now. So if you ever see one, she tells us you call your wildlife, whoever the rangers are, and let them know, and then they will track and make sure there is no mother for that fawn. Okay, so that's an example. So that's how they got some of those. They have deer, they have donkeys. I mean, it's amazing. So anyway, so you can go, and there's a gift shop, there's a restaurant, and we did everything. So we started off with the tour. So you park, and the tour starts with you going through, and I can show you the clip of me feeding a porcupine. Oh my gosh, we got to feed a porcupine. We got to see where they live. We got to see an armadillo, and the handlers were telling us about just facts and how long they live in the wild versus in captivity, and with care, and how much longer she could outlive us. We just don't know, And then get on the bus, and the tour guide was amazing. Like, we literally have a selfie with us. Like, we kept seeing her all over the place. I was like, this is my bestie. We even hugged. Like, we were exiting for like the day, and when we were leaving, we saw her again at the final exit. She was all over the place, and she was like, hey, she waved us down. I gave her a hug through the window. Like, I am this way all the time, people. This isn't just like some act. This is my personality. And human connections mean a lot to me, and that was just, she was just so amazing. But anyway, so she drives the bus, she tells you all about the animals, so you ride through. The VIP was a little pricey. It was an additional $50 a person, so an additional $200 for us to do this, plus the online fee, right? So it's like $210 for us to do this for as a family of 4, but it was so worth it. Otherwise, the drive alone and just doing that and coming home, it would have been fine, but man, it was worth every penny, I swear. So we ride, and she tells you all about different animals. We get to see, she points out the different ones and like all the facts and their names, and you get to see bear and everything, right? And then we stop, and you get out, and you get to go see the wolves, like their training area, and everything's positive reinforcement. They show you how they do all of the different training, how they had special people come in and train them, and then they were talking about all of that. And she's doing all this this black bear, which is it's actually brown in color, but it's a black bear, comes over, and there's a gate, but we can see, like, when we first got out of the tour bus, it's just like a regular old school bus, but high up, right? No special mesh or anything on the windows either. All the windows are down. She pulls up so that the bus and the door kind of blocks and makes like a little barrier, but not enough where this bear couldn't just climb like over the hood of the bus and get us, but it didn't, thank God. So when we're in the enclosure area with the wolves, we aren't, there's a gate separating even the handlers and the wolves and us. So it was us and the handlers, and then this gate, and then them over there. But on the other side of this gate on the left was like this black bear. And then she starts feeding that one, and I'm hoping I'm inserting all these clips and pictures as I'm talking. And so she starts feeding that one marshmallows. And so yeah, that was a whole nother excitement, because that bear, she said, weighs 500 pounds, and it doesn't look like 500, but then you start, like, these were not like full grown adults, none of them. So I'm like, oh my gosh, imagine like just how big these babies can get. Oh my gosh. So we got to see those, all that. And then we get back on the tour bus, and she continues on. We see all types of things. And then we get to the bison. These bison weigh like 4,000 pounds, something crazy, right? They are huge. I mean huge. We're in a huge bus, and there's other cars, like the regular cars are going through as well. These bison are way bigger than the cars. Their heads are like up to like our windows, and we get apples that we get to throw out to them for them to come over, and they eat them to the babies, and everything was amazing. And it's just like this whole open area, and my mind is blown on how animals just don't, like, I'm gonna cross over there and live on that side or whatever. They're just everywhere. They did have to separate the wolves because, wolves are pack animals, and they started like being mischievous and started tearing off like people's side windows and just being silly and like, but playful, but still like kind of dangerous, So they put them separate. That's why they were behind that area, and they don't get to go out as much, like I guess when the tours are going. But so, and they're also saying that the reason that those animals are separated from like the walking tours, because it's a lot to have, you interact with all these vehicles all day, and then you're like put on show to like see everyone. So they get to be separate. You get to drive through their area, but you don't see them unless you drive through. But yeah, so then we drove all the way out, and then we parked, like the tour bus, she stops finally to go through everything. You see everything. And then it's over. You're free to do whatever you want. So then we go, and we bought a bunch of stuff from the gift shop, including these. So everyone got to pick an item, and Lily got like a bear, and I got these bear claw paws. You guys know I'm silly. And Gabby and David both got feet, like giant, like wolf feet I think Gabby got the Gabby got the wolf feet, and then David got the bear feet. And we did the gift shop, so that was like $135 there. And bought some magnets, and we're big on buying Christmas ornaments. So we got one for this coming year for our tree that showed Arizona. And then we ate there at the restaurant, and then we did our walking tour, and then we ate and then we did our drive-through. So we did a second all the way through in our own vehicle, so we can kind of reseat things. When we went through the tour with a bus, the bears weren't as active, and she said at 2 o'clock they're very active, and so it was like perfect timing. It was 2 o'clock when we were done with like eating and during our walking tour. So then we went in the car and drove around, and they were very active, and they're all over and they're lounging about. It was beautiful. So then we ended up we finally went back and checked into our hotel. We ended up grabbing some food and just eating in our lobby, and then going down to Route 66. And there's like a whole street of like little shops and restaurants. We found a small little ice cream shop. There's like Oh Sweetie or something like that. It was amazing, like homemade fresh ice cream. And we all had ice cream, which David and I paid for the next day, but it was delicious. And then we went back to our room, and we just hung out, and we were so tired by then. Like, we were exhausted because we had been in the sun and walking, and so we showered and passed out. And then the next morning we had breakfast at the hotel, packed everything up, and then we drove another hour further to the Grand Canyon. I guess I've never seen it. This was my third time. Again, I'm from Phoenix, so I've seen it a couple times, but as an adult. So I never went as a kid. So I went to the Grand Canyon, and they were just blown away by the beauty and the magnitude. They were just like, I didn't realize it was this big. Like, yeah, it's a Grand Canyon. It's grand. So we saw that, we took pictures and did the gift shop there and just bought a couple of things. And then we drove on back, and we would stop. We did a lot of stopping on the way back, just random places. Like, we saw some places at like Grand Canyon Chocolate Factory. It wasn't a chocolate factory, it was like a candy store, but we still stopped in there. We just stopped when we felt like stopping at different places on the way back. We ended up stopping at an outlet mall, eating lunch there. It was very lazy blah. We did everything before the holiday weekend, since I'm off and the kids aren't in school. We were able to bypass and, not have to worry about any of the traffic. And so that was good. And we got out of town while it was 115. So that was also good. But an amazing time. So I just want to show you the breakdown of what I spent, really. So I won't take too much more of our time. I know my light is fading. Let me see if I can get us some more light. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna call this our summer trip. And I just go with them every summer. And even though we're gonna have more like quick day things, like go do activities, this is our big like overnight summer trip. So we did Arizona and the Grand Canyon. Now, the hotel and the entry fees I prepaid for, and entry fee. I prepaid for it. If you saw when I did my weekly check-in, I had already allotted $500 from my bonus money to cover that. So we're gonna have a $500 deduction once we get all of our fees laid out. We're gonna subtract 500, it's already been paid, and then what's remaining we have to take care of. So my hotel ended up being $193.38, and that included one night plus ended up having to get Lily some pain pills. She had a really terrible headache. But I just charged her to the room, it was like $5. So, and then all the entry fees ended up being $338.25. Now that was the $35 for the Grand Canyon, $96 for Arizona if you pay per person, not per vehicle, and then $210 for the additional VIP stuff. Gas, I have my receipt somewhere and I cannot, they haven't posted yet, but before we left, it was like I'm gonna say $80 fill up, but it wasn't. We'll say $80 fill, it was a little under that. And then returning was another $60 because I didn't use all of my gas. So we'll just say $140 for gas. And then souvenirs. We spent $10 at the Grand Canyon on a couple magnets, and then $135.83 at Arizona. So $145.83 total for souvenirs. And then food was a big one. We spent just whatever. If you wanted a snack, if you wanted a treat, we just did everything. So that was $262.24. Then we ate at the restaurant there too, so we didn't hold back. So this is what I spent total, and that gives me $193.38 plus $338.25. 140. Remember, we used to go to San Diego every summer, but they didn't want to go this summer, which was fine with by me. So 1,079.70. But when we go to San Diego, a lot of things are free. They were younger too. So the San Diego Children's Museum is free in the summer for military families. We do the beach, and then we would do SeaWorld, which as a teacher, we get free tickets and military gets free tickets. So mainly we just paid for hotel and gas and food. And so we would spend about the same amount, honestly. So that's fine. And we've already minus 500 we paid. So we still need to pay $579.70. Now, remember, I had a summer binder, and this includes bills and any fun. So we're gonna go from gas, and we'll take out 140, which will leave me with 660, and that's a trip. And I'll take this out later, but that's where that will come from. And then from fun, so we have 579 minus 140 for gas, so 440. What is it? So 430. Say 440. So minus 440. That's trip. This was Top Golf. So 782 minus 440. So I have 342. And fun money. So yeah, see, we still did good, and we still have money left, and we've taken care of that. I think it was a great time. I think it was fun, and they said it was just long enough for us to get away, but they didn't want to be gone too long. And so what we'll do for the next couple of weeks before school starts up again, we'll do some activities here and there. They won't necessarily cost us money, or they might cost us money, but whatever we decide to do, we have those funds set aside, and to just enjoy the summer. So that was my little breakdown. When I first did this, I wrote out a budget, and then I don't even remember where I put it. I know, I'm terrible. I actually wrote it all out. I'm trying to see if it's in this book. Hold on. Because I wrote one out to include like all the little things I wanted to make sure I had money for. And then I don't know where I put it. So yeah. But I did budget out for these different items. And I want to say I'm a little over. I think I went over on food. I think I went over on food and souvenirs. I want to say I said 100 for souvenirs. This is about right what I said for gas, and I think I may have said 250 for food. So I went a little over my rough budget, but I'm happy. I'm okay. This is good. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you've been following my I Know JULYIN series, I'm gonna do affirmation. Go ahead and put hashtag. Tell me, okay, so have you been to the Grand Canyon or not? You don't even have to write a hashtag. Let me know if you've been to Arizona or the Grand Canyon. Just let me know. I'll know when I look at this one that, you know, the response is a response. So have you been to Arizona? You know what? No. I'm changing my mind. I'm changing it again. If you had to choose one or the other, which one would you want to go to? Are you team hashtag Arizona or hashtag Grand Canyon? Which team are you on? So if you want to go to Arizona, hashtag Arizona. If you prefer to Grand Canyon, hashtag Grand Canyon. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And affirmators unite. Conviction. My convictions are solid, and I believe in my vision, no matter how far-fetched or dreamery it may seem. I choose to roll with my good friend, shameless self-expression. There's no need to water down my ideas or compromise who I am in order to be seen, heard, loved by others. So let's crank up the authenticity and get this me and my original ideas party started. You guys know I'm big on being your authentic self. So the authenticity, being yourself, living in your truth, being without shame, that's really important. As not only as adults and for us to be able to move within society, to grow as a person, but to be the example for any younger person. You don't necessarily have to be a parent, but younger people are looking up to you, regardless if you realize that or not, or believe it or not. If you are seen by any young person, you are an adult figure to them. And so it is important not just to show them like, oh, this is the way to live. No, but to have, It's important to show them that it's okay to be you. It is okay to have your own differences and to have different thoughts and to just be who you are and to live in that truth. Now, are we all there as an adult? No. So that's something you can work on. But it might help to know that someone's looking up to you or looking at you to see how you maneuver through a situation, life in general. And I think that's humbling in itself, to know that, as someone who deals with students and children literally all day, I am very mindful of the things I do and say because I know someone's always watching. And I hope that not only am I kind to people, but that they see that's who I really am and that it's okay to be nice to people. It's sad that we have to say it that way, but it's okay to be whoever you are. It's okay to be nice to people, and it's okay to just enjoy doing whatever it is you enjoy doing. All right, that's it, guys. So see you tomorrow for our last day of the first week of I Know JULYIN, and we will we'll stuff some money. We'll do a little cash money tomorrow. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. Boom.